I mean, we both understand how it feels to be bullied. You feel powerless, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you see it happen to others, you kind of want to step in and say, hey, what are you doing, man? Leave that kid alone. But at the same time, it's if you don't know the person, why get involved, you know?
Yeah, and it's true because like I was saying, it's like this guy was like bullying everybody, and I remember the people who he's bullying. I got kind of pissed off. I'm like, "Fuck you," and I told him I'll kick his ass before. And then the guy, I remember one day he confronts me, going home, and he has like a fucking a plastic fork, and he like tries he pretends he's gonna stab me, and I'm standing there, and then I just look at him, and he's like pretends he's gonna stab me, and I don't even flinch. I'm like, just look at him, and he looks at my face, and he's like trying to do it at my face, and I'm like, I'm not gonna flinch. It's like I'm not gonna move. And he's kind of looks at me. He's like, ooh. He doesn't say anything. He can't. He does nothing come back because his friend even stared at him, and he's went, "Whoa, was kind of worthless." Walked away. After that, nothing ever happened. I've never seen that fool ever again. After that, he kind of just like disappeared on us.
Yeah, a lot of these bullies need to be put in their place, you know?
Yeah.
And after that, they'll realize what they're doing to people. If not, then they're lost. But for the most part, when you stand up to them, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this to people. You know, because you got to give them their own taste of their own medicine, you know?
Yeah. Because, like, even, like Michael said, Ziggy mentioned that we have, like, nerd rage. And yes, we did have nerd rage. And once we went to middle school, that's when everything got everything got planned out more, where we would defend those who needed help in a sense. Like, even if you're, I don't care, we didn't care if you're a nerd, drama, or whatever the fuck you were. We would defend you. And then there was a group of us who would defend everybody. It didn't matter. I mean, because we didn't believe in, like, oh, fuck, well, that guy's getting bullied, leave him alone. No, it was more of a, fuck that. That fool ain't getting no bullied by anybody.
Yeah, that's the thing about our group when we were going to school. We never really discriminated anybody, you know. We were friends with a bunch of people. It didn't matter if you were a so-called nerd or you're popular or whatever. Mm-hmm. As long as you were cool, we were fine with that.
Yeah. Because even then, like, even now, like, I don't see him bullying. When I worked different jobs, anybody who tried bullying anybody, I would like talk them down. I'm a really nice person. A lot of people know that I'm really nice. I'm like, you talk to me and you ever see me, you'll know that I look really domicile. Like, I'm really nice. Like, I have like a friendly face. It doesn't look like I have any rage. So eventually I come to find out why they left me in the taco shop alone. So what happened is the uncle went to the bathroom, vomited up the whole fucking bathroom. I mean, literally just fucked it up, dude. And they all ran upstairs and left me alone.
Oh.
So that's what happened. And
they never figured it out. It was you guys, right?
No, they knew it was us.
Oh.
I mean, five guys drunk as shit, and one motherfucker went to the bed. Yeah. We were fucked too. We were literally fucked. So that's what happened in that time. And then the strip joint, I never asked them. I was like, oh, well, I remember you touching the girl, and I'm like, so the next day, because I remember when she sat down, she smelled like lotion, and I, why does this lotion sound? It looks, smells so familiar. So the next day that I wake up, I go to the bathroom, and I'm putting on lotion. I'm like, I have the same lotion the stripper does, and I'm smelling myself like, oh shit!
What kind of lotion was it?
It's like coconut, like it hydrates your body. It says coconut lotion.
Oh, I don't like coconut lotion.
I know, but this one hydrates you. Like, it literally feels good. Like, when you go like this, you feel the air.
Oh, no, I'm thinking cocoa butter.
Oh no, that's nasty.
That's different.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm like, I smell like the stripper. It's like, holy shit! And then everything comes back again. I was like, oh, but the stripper, I'm like I don't know why I just went like this to her leg. So let's say this is her leg. I just touched her leg. That's all I did. I just literally did this the whole time.
Was it skin on skin, or she wearing fishnets?
No, she was wearing a bikini. And eventually, the other people in front of us, like, they got a stripper too, and she was getting naked. We were all staring. It's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, because obviously I feel kind of uncomfortable. Because
was your first time being there?
And I still do. I'm not a big fan of strip bars. It's not a place for me.
For me, it's like when I'm drunk, I love going to strip clubs, but if I'm sober, I don't want to go to strip clubs.
No, I literally was not my thing. I was literally like telling the uncle. I remember some conversations going like, see, I don't like doing that. I like the mystery of the clothing. It's about you dating, right?
Oh, God.
No, yes, it was. He's like, what?
Okay, yeah, what?
Okay. No,
majority,
don't think
majority. Fuck you, man.
Go.
Majority of the podcast was about that. You kept fucking pushing it.
I had to
was
do.
Like, okay, we'll talk about it. You know?
No, but it's good. It's good. It's because at least a female perspective gives both males a different perspective, right?
Yeah, it's almost as if I fucking tried everything. You know, I tried fucking like meeting people and
correct.
You know.
Oh, because you were doing the whole online dating thing, right?
Well, I was doing online dating, and then on top of that, I was also meeting people outside of my house.
And we were trying to figure out what was the problem that how come he couldn't date? Well, you get me? Mm-hmm. So he tried everything. When you started going to bar, right? Started asking girls.
Well, meeting girls at bars is not my thing because I used to work at a bar.
Correct. Yeah, right.
I was a bouncer at a bar before, and meeting girls at a bar is just like you're like
meeting prostitutes on the street.
Well, no, you're like a fucking mistake to them. Like I consider myself the mistake because the following morning they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that, but I was really drunk last night, and I don't know what I was doing. But can we remain friends?" I'm like, "No, fuck off, leave me alone." Look here. I'll give you a good example of what we're talking about here. I had a Microsoft Zune, which I thought was much better than iPod, but anyways. It
still is.
Yeah. I had that, and I remember I bought it at Palomar, and I opened the box, and the fucking Zune wasn't in there.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't in there. I was like, okay, is there like some hidden fucking compartment? So I tore that shit apart, and I went back to Walmart, and I was like, hey man, you guys sold me a Zune with nothing in it.
And what they say?
And they replaced it. Are you sure that you're not trying to scam us? Like they didn't say it, but they looked like they looked at me like I did, and I was like, no. I know for sure this wasn't in there. It looks like somebody returned this, and got their money back, but kept the Zune because it was taped up.
That's what I'm saying.
When I opened it, so you either give me back my fucking money, which was like 300 something at the time. Yeah. Or you give me another fucking Zune.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the perspective to people is because...
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the fact that, like, a lot of drug users and a lot of people try to scam their way of getting things. Like, say, for example, you get an iPod.
And you got to remember,
in the case,
our youth. You got to remember.
Yeah, you get an iPod in its box, but you take it out and you try to return it. Maybe now, I don't know how they do it with iPods. Maybe they make sure the product's inside already.
Yeah.
Compared to...
It's like shoes.
Remember? Yeah, like they'll wrap it in like maybe like that plastic.
Do you remember what we used to do? What people used to do with the shoes? Grab shoes, put their shoes, and put on their own.
The people still do that probably.
Yeah, and then that's the thing.
I could get where they're coming from.
See, that's now you understand. But
I guess, but see, the thing is, like I guess everybody has their own way of looking at things, and it's kind of dumb because
you see
the way I look at things is
your personal.
Okay, look, the way I look at things is what typically people assume, like you look at a businessman that has a high-paying job and maybe has like, I don't know, like a wife and kids and shit like that. You think, oh, he seems like a decent man, but then in the back, behind closed doors, like he's an alcoholic, or maybe he's a
woman beater.
Yeah, he beats his fucking wife or and some kids. Shit like that. And maybe he smokes weed. I don't fucking know, But here's the thing. I guess you can't judge a book by its fucking cover.
You have to.
But I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking. Let's get off this fucking subject. Fuck this subject.
You gotta understand.
Wait, shut up. We're not talking about this no more.
But you gotta understand because I've worked in this industry so long.
Well, I've been working in...
You work as a security guard.
But I have customer service.
Yeah, you do have customer, but I deal with money.
Before, security wasn't my thing before, right? I did inventory before.
Yeah, inventory, but I worked cashier, like right there, front of me.
I worked in inventory stocking, and then I also worked at a concert.
So you saw the background. What happens in the background?
Yeah, I see that.
I was in the front line.
Half these people that work at these stores are fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, of course. And look, watch.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you something first. I was in East Lake. I was at the mall. I was inventorying a fucking like a small clothing store. It's probably like maybe twice the size of this room. And it was just me and somebody else, me and my manager, because it's a small store. It doesn't take that long to inventory. And there's this guy behind me. He's at one of the stores, the sales associates. And he was talking to his buddy or whatever, and then like I was like scanning product, counting everything, and the guy standing behind me making me kind of nervous because like, fuck, let me do my fucking work and stop breathing down my damn neck.
Yeah.
And I walk over to my manager like, hey man, this Kim, which was her name,
Yeah.
was my supervisor's name. Hey man, these fuckers they won't get off my back, and I'm trying to do my work here, and they're like impatiently waiting for me. So because they have to review the ticket.
Yeah.
The ticket says the amount of like
Yeah.
how much clothing there is, and make sure it matches. If it's like one or two off, it's okay. It's passable, but at the same time, it's like I gotta do my job. You got a job to do too.
Pony's experiences. No, no. So okay. So wow, I don't know when I came out. I had the idea to say this the other day, or when we canceled the podcast last week because of certain things. So I don't know if I ever told you the story where one day I was about to go to sleep. So we're home. Me and my girlfriend are home. Just about to just crash out, and I'm laying down. And then my phone goes off. I'm like, I don't recognize this number.
Mm-hmm.
So I pick up the phone. And then this guy goes, no, actually not a guy. The guy was later. But a recording of someone going, please help me. Help. Please. And then this guy comes over and goes, you better give me the money now. Or she will die. Or some bullshit like that.
Oh, you're being trolled.
Or yeah, no, that's what they do in TJ. Or in Mexico. So it's like, I need the money. Give me the money now, or she dies. And I basically, I'm like, who is this? I literally go, who is this? Kind of like fucking, what's his face from
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
I will fund you.
Yeah.
No, but I'm like, who is this? Give me the. He's like, you better put the money now. It's like, what are you talking about? And we'll call your daughter. He goes, and I'm like, who is this? I want to know who this is. And I come to realize I have no daughter. I was like, oh, I have no daughter. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I just like, nope. And I just clicked on them. I literally I said nope and clicked. I'm like, and at that time, I'm like,
was it a TJ number?
I don't even remember, dude. It was like, I think it was a private number or a block number.
Oh, of course.
But at that time, I'm like, where the fuck did that even come from? I was like, he said daughter in the beginning. And I'm like, oh, who is this? Like, all mad. It's like, I want my daughter. I don't have a daughter. What the fuck?
You're just going along with the story.
Yeah.
Last Sunday, it was last Sunday, right?
I think so.
Last Sunday, I was viewing our YouTube channel, and we had a notification. I said, "Oh, cool, we got a comment." So when I viewed it, it was actually a hate comment from some random girl. The comment there isn't there anymore, but if you want to check out the video, it's episode 28. Basically, what this girl was talking about, she called us degenerates. She called me a scumbag, and she called Pony full of shit. Yeah. She said nobody will listen to this podcast, and they probably treat women with disrespect. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, lady?
Were we talking about like that she has selective hearing?
Yeah, we were talking about because she had selective hearing, because when we listened to the part she was talking about, or we had an idea what she was talking about, and I understood maybe that would offend people, but that doesn't make us degenerates.
No, but I don't even think, because she's saying that, like, she's basically what she's saying that, like, oh, it's not the 1950s, something about women, this and that.
Yeah.
And the whole time we were talking about this subject, it was not more of supporting what was happening during, like, what we were talking about. It was more of, like, supporting on the women's side. So she thought
maybe we'll get a lot of shit for saying this, but maybe she's a feminist. That could be.
Most likely, she's probably 18 in the suburbs, living in the suburbs too. Because
she sounds very entitled.
Yeah, very entitled. Because and only again, like, she didn't hear the whole conversation. She really did not hear anything we said. We were talking about.
She was like nitpicking at what we were saying.
And we were putting pros and cons, and then the whole time we were like not really supporting the subject we were talking about.
You know what probably offended her the most out of that? It was probably
like the Filipino, like when we said we're talking about the whole like old people with young girls.
Yeah, that part is true. I've seen it.
I know, but
that's why I said it.
But then after we said that, and we started going, that's pretty weird and disgusting. He's like, that's not cool. And she's like, I don't know where she got that, and said, oh, I don't think that they treat women right. It's like, what the fuck do you know? It's like, you really do not realize what you're saying at this right moment. You most likely look like an idiot at this moment.
Before we continue with this discussion, I want to say I didn't really want to talk about this because we're just giving her the satisfaction
No,
of
but
us
I
talking
remember,
about the
like,
shit.
I always said too, like, I don't care. We don't care if it's a hate comment or whatever comment. It just fuels the conversation. I mean, either
Yeah,
or, it fuels the conversation. Again, this is gives you a reason to, let them know. It's like, yo, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I do suggest that you keep listening and analyze what you're listening.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like you were just a hate monger, or something in your life happened. You got fired. I don't know.
Like that episode, I listened to it. It's not even about women. It's only just that one section.
Well, I mean, again, like we keep saying about women, it's not. We weren't even saying. We're talking about like what she was talking about.
Yeah.
The whole time we were just like, that's pretty disgusting. We're just what is it? Trading off ideas and not really supporting.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that kind of I think that really offended her was we talked about this this guy that dug up some lady's grave.
No, but she said that we're degenerates.
And fucked it, yeah.
And then we don't treat women right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think...
Where did she get that idea from?
I don't know. I think the whole conversation... She wasn't listening. She was really not attentive.
Like, we didn't say we were going to disrespect women. What the hell?
She wasn't listening. She had
what did we talk about? We talked about sex dolls and...
and then the old people with
with younger women.
What type of music do you play so they, so people would know?
I keep it. I consider it along the lines of what I call dark dance. It's anything from new wave to synth pop to industrial, heavy EBM, dark wave. Obviously, being a DJ, I want to keep it danceable and keep the crowd going and keep them moving. So it's darker stuff, but it's stuff you can dance to.
Good.
The thing about when you can practically make any music danceable. You could even add metal and industrial together.
There are remixes out there.
And it works.
That's
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Country and industrial.
Yeah.
It might work.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
That's why. And what's the venues you actually?
Well, I pretty much I guessed at a lot of places. Manhattan Bar in Chula Vista, Blonde Bar out there in San Diego, Space Bar. Yeah. As well, so I get around. When needed and if needed.
A little while ago, me and Michael were talking about how me personally believe that Tupac's still alive. Michael doesn't. I mean, because his social security number's still active, and he showed me a picture of Tupac, but his head was like twisted. His face wasn't even on the picture. It was only the back of his head. That could have been an old motherfucker with a lot of tattoos that was bald.
Man, it's an ongoing conspiracy that he's on a fucking tropical island. And
I don't believe in that because they even said that about Hitler too. So I don't believe that. Is that tropical island? Like, who the fuck?
Hitler's dead, man.
I don't know about that, man.
I'm pretty sure he's fucking dead. Hitler?
I don't believe a lot of things. Now he probably is.
Okay, I could believe Hitler's. That conspiracy is ended. He's dead because
now he's dead.
That was a long time ago.
He's old as shit. Yes.
I find the Tupac one slightly more believable because he's in his 40s or 50s,
something
now,
like that.
If he was still alive,
it's around the area.
Yeah.
Wait, but do you believe in aliens?
I don't know if I do. I'm not sure, mate. It's like,
why don't you know that you believe in aliens or not? Like you haven't settled into an opinion, into a certain area.
Okay, look, I don't believe there's aliens, but maybe there's life outside of this earth.
That's Wouldn't that be considered still aliens though?
Well,
I mean, other lives in other planets. Because if you cross the border, you're an alien illegally.
Let's agree to disagree.
I disagree with being disagreed with.
Agree to disagree. Shut up. Right?
No, but because think about it. No, seriously, just think about this concept. So if you cross the border illegally, then you're an illegal alien, correct? So if there's life in other planets and they come here, they're basically aliens, right? Technically.
Okay.
Well, then you do believe in aliens, then, right?
Whatever you want to call it, man. I mean, I'm just saying life. I'm not saying like they're not the way they're depicted in fucking movies where they come down and try to probe your ass.
Well, I mean, there's... Okay, I don't believe in aliens myself, but it doesn't I don't escape away from searching shit from it, alright? So, I've heard... I mean, I don't know if you know about Art Bell, but Art Bell is one of the guys who speaks a lot about the UFO sightings, aliens, and so forth. And then there's been situations where he gets a call from, I don't know, probably a CIA agent,
an Area 51 employee or something, and all of a sudden something weird happens, like everything turns off, or something like that happens, or someone's flying. Like there's an episode where there's this guy who's flying his airplane, personal airplane, over Area 51, and he calls Art Bell. And then you can hear the sirens in the background and all this shit. And Art Bell's telling him, he's like, yo, you do realize that we'll shoot you down, right? And he's like, yeah, I know this. But I want to have this on fire. I want this to be on record. So this guy's flying. And you hear the sirens, those weird fucking old school 50 sirens of the nuclear, something like a nuclear bomb.
It's anywhere you fly over that's restricted. You're not, it's not...
Oh yeah, but you hear in the background, and then all of a sudden you hear like a radio feed, and then it tells them to back up or to leave the area, and all of a sudden he tells them that he got shot down, and his wife starts crying and all this shit, but that doesn't prove anything about aliens. But as it's saying how really restricted this area is going towards that area, and he was
unless you have permission to fly over that place, that's fine.
Yeah, and he has feed too of like people talking about aliens, like real colonels and sergeants and so forth, talking that we met some and this and that.
Yeah, they made so many documentaries on Area 51. Who knows if aliens really do exist? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but I know for sure there is life outside of this Earth. Maybe I also believe in like the multiverse too. Like there's different versions of ourselves.
I'm one of those people who believe in what I see. I haven't don't get me wrong.
But that theory is not too far off. That
scientifically is not
multiple dimensions.
Yeah, scientifically and mathematically, no, of course not.
Yeah,
because that's why they always talk about.
It makes sense a little bit.
In a sense, I'm not saying I'm not proving you wrong. I'm just saying that me myself, I don't believe in things that I can't see. I mean, in order for me to believe...
Yeah, well, that's how everybody feels, They want to have... their opinion first, or... They want to see with their own two eyes to see if it's real or not.
Like, I was talking with Charlie, that when we were here, I've seen ghosts. I mean, I'm a big, strong believer in ghosts.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it personally. I've had what you guys call what is called sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Literally when I was I don't know if I ever told you this story. Like when I was a kid, my brothers and sisters' grandma died in the apartment that we lived in.
I think we talked about that.
Right. Okay. So so I felt someone choking the shit out of me.
Yeah. We talked about that in one of the podcasts.
So
before,
I believe that because I experienced it myself. And also, I've seen other shit. But alien-wise, it's just, for me, it's really hard to even believe because I've never...
because everybody wants to see that firsthand, They want to say, I'll believe it when I see it. Or if I experienced it, then yeah, I'll agree with you.
But I do believe in that Tupac's still alive.
But there is life out there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but anyways, we're getting off topic here. This is for a different podcast. We're talking about Tupac, and I don't know how we got into aliens.
Well, because you believe in aliens, and I believe in other supernatural shit, right? But I believe Tupac's still alive. It's because the fact, again, you searched it, and you saw that his social security number is still active, but...
Maybe because somebody's using it.
If someone used it...
Identity theft is a big thing in
California. But what do you think someone would made a big deal out of his fucking identity? Thievery. Think about that, like
Tupac. But then again, see, here's the thing though, that picture I looked at, maybe that Social Security is not, maybe it was active at that time, but maybe people saw that and they closed it.
I don't think so. I mean, no one closes that kind of shit. No one closes a famous fucking rapper who opened.
They're supposed to. If anybody dies, their Social Security it gets destroyed.
You close it, but that one's still active. You get me? You see, like, is it someone using someone really famous Social Security number? Famous. This guy opened so many minds out there. He was able to open.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I like Tupac's music. He's fucking awesome, but. Come on, you got to think realistically. Where's your proof that he exists? Though?
Well, I mean, you found it.
That's just a Social Security number.
Yes, no one else has that Social Security. No one has your Social Security number. When you die, like you said, it deceases with you. Yeah, this one's still active. Yeah. It's still fucking active, dude. You cannot disprove the fact that what you just saw is proof that he may May. I'm not saying he's fully alive, but he may be alive.
Okay, what are we looking at? 50%, 40%?
I'm looking at 50.
50.
I'm a guy who looks at.
That's a long shot.
Yeah, I'm looking at my cup half full and empty at the same time. All right, it's a floating water, a puddle of water. All right, that's how I see it. But think about it. If you had that social security number, would you not go and investigate? I mean, seriously, think about it. Like, I would investigate. Because this is like, who the fuck has this motherfucker's social security number? I wonder what the fuck he's buying. And the other thing, I'm pretty sure he has very good fucking credit score on top of that shit.
I don't know. I don't know if he had a good credit score.
I do, because he's fucking popular. He's famous. A famous person has better score, a better credit score than anybody else. Cause
I don't think he had that much money though.
That fucker had a lot of money, dude.
But in the early 90s, he was fighting a lot of his record labels because I think one of his labels didn't pay him.
Well, because they screwed him over. Obviously, again, he talked about truth. A lot of people just listen to his music because he was like thugged out and shit. But in reality, this guy...
Actually, I didn't see him as a thug, though. His music was very real. He didn't claim to be in any gang or nothing, you know?
No, but he does talk about him being a thug. He talks about living in the ghetto and this shit and that shit. But at the same time, this fucker... was not only I guess you can call it ghetto, but at the same time he also opened so many minds, saying that he opened up a lot of minds by speaking truth. He spoke so many truths, like Old Dirty Bastard. Old Dirty Bastard did the same shit. He opened so many minds, and he spoke the truth about everything.
Yeah, I mean, as far as mainstream rap goes, Tupac was pretty good.
Like me, like I believe. I like me, and obviously, like we had the last conversation with Charlie, we believe that there's a higher power who controls. That's what we believe in, and it's true because a lot of these rappers do talk about this. I mean, again,
like Illuminati and shit like that,
something like that. But again, higher power. But it could be the Illuminati, it could be the whatever Baphomet, it could be the Masons, whatever you want to think of. But there is higher power controlling. I mean, it's think about it like a pyramid. So you're at the bottom, who's controlling, and then the person who's above you is controlling you. Whoever's above him is control. Again, pyramid all the way to the top. Who's controlling them? Right. That's how it works. The 1%. Everybody always talks about the 1%. There's always the 1%, and we all know about the 1%, because if now you wouldn't be agreeing with me. But at the same time, again, all these rappers that you hear of, like Tupac, Old Dirty Bastard. Some people from the Wu-Tang Clan, like Old Dirty Bastard, and a couple other ones. Even, what's his face? Immortal Technique. Fucking Doom. All these people talk about this shit. They all talk about how, like, the record label's all corrupted. Even Ice Cube talks about it. He talked about it in a lot of interviews. He's like, well, these fuckers just, want to... He's controlling the fuck out of them.
Well, it's not only rap. It's also other genres too, like rap and punk. I mean, metal and punk.
Well, I never heard anything about metal, but I've heard about.
But they talk about it too.
They do. I mean, obviously, punk and metal do come in hand because they speak about the whole almost the same truth. Because these people are already, as you can call it or rephrase it, awake. These people don't understand the system is rigged. This game of monopoly that we...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of artists, like, say, I don't know, for example, like Justin Bieber or fucking any other artists that are in that same, like, genre, they want to be controlled by, that music corporation, and they want to have their fucking writers write their music for them.
And it's funny because
I mean, if I was a musician, I don't want people writing music for me. I have my own writings that I wanna sing, and I don't want to be controlled in that way,
And it's funny because a lot of these rappers, this new wave rappers, not even the old school rappers, do talk about it. They like what's her face? Blah, 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 blah. What's her face? Fucking one of those famous rappers. Oh, Katy Perry talks about it. She's like,
she's not a rapper.
Well, whatever the fuck she was, like
Pop.
She's in between because she fucking goes with fucking Migos, and then she talks about how she doesn't want to be Katy Perry. She is not Katy Perry, she says. Or Nicki Minaj says that she has multiple people who she becomes, right? I mean, that's the system controlling you. That's something different. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they tell you who they want you to be.
no, they're saying that who they are while they rap or when they rap, when they sing and they're dressed differently. That's like controlling. There's like MK Ultra. I don't know if you've heard of this, where I mean they subliminally are fucking hypnotized into being this other person. These people speak the truth. They all speak the truth, but when we hear them, I guess we as a society cannot handle the truth because we are so used to one linear one linear fucking line instead of thinking multiple lines, right? You only want to believe one thing because that's the way you were taught. You go to school to be programmed. Like in your computer, you only wanted to do a certain thing, and that's what you do, right? That's how it works. You only want to believe whatever they told you what to do. Like in school, they tell you, well, history that and history this, and then when you really go out there and search the history, the history doesn't correlate, right? So that's kind of how it works. You are there to be programmed. That's usually how it works. I mean,
Well, but then again with history, books they always interpret the history
and that's what I'm
differently.
saying. Like that's what they want you to believe. But a lot of people don't believe. Like a lot of people just can't handle it, and they prefer to
I think
deny
with
it.
history, it's just kind of like it's a long shot. Whether you believe it or not, it's really up to you. Because there's gonna be like people that have their theories and say, "Oh, it actually happened this way." There's no way of knowing that unless there's actual footage or you were there.
True, and then like a teacher of mine told me before, if you want to learn real history, you fucking do research on your own. And since that day, I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I have not stopped, and then it's keep going and going. And again, I still believe fucking Tupac may be alive. Just the fact that this fucker.
That's a very small chance. Though.
I believe it, dude.
It's a small chance.
I really believe
it's
it.
It's not that big, man.
It's really big, man. I mean, again, you saw what you saw, and you still you still decide to not believe in what you saw.
Well, come on, man. How was he gonna survive that many shots?
How do you know that was him at the same time? Again,
he was with Suge Knight. In Vegas, and they were driving, and his car got
But it's
shut
funny
up.
how Suge Knight didn't fucking get shot. Suge Knight didn't get shot.
Because they weren't targeting Suge Knight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying how you said, what was that? Like a fucking what kind of gun? An automatic.
Must have been an automatic.
Okay,
maybe
so an automatic usually means it shoots multiple areas. Like, okay, when you shoot a gun, it doesn't go straight. Obviously, especially for an automatic, when you're shooting, the recoil makes you move all over the place.
Yes, I know how guns work, you asshole.
So then you understand that this motherfucker should have been shot too, if not died with him in that. You get me? Like, he had it. He had it to be a shot, man. Like, seriously, it's 50-50, but I still believe in like the fact that he may still be alive. A lot of people may not agree with me, but I still agree. I still believe in this shit. What happened?
Yeah, I don't feel like reading that, but I know the story about it.
But
man.
yeah, but a gun, dude, automatic gun makes you move all over the fucking place. And many chances of that gun moving all over the place, you have to get shot. Kinetic energy and plus fucking the recoil of it, you have to get shot somehow. You can't, oh shit, I survived, and somehow the fucking bullet just shot one person instead of shooting multiple fucking areas. I mean, you saw the car. The car was shot more than almost the whole thing, the whole frame.